Kia ora. Today we will be focusing on single bracket fraction. What does it mean by fraction? That is just the opposite process of expansion that we have learned last week. Okay, let me give you an example. So we have learned that in order to get rid of the bracket, we need to do expansion, which is by multiplying whatever is outside the bracket with every single thing inside the bracket. Okay, and then we get something look like this. This is what we called expanding or expansion, right? Going backwards, if we want to give the brackets back, what do? We do a process that we call factorization. Okay, so today we are going to learn how can we give these brackets back by doing factorization. Okay. Another example, we have learned how to expand the expression by multiplying whatever's outside the bracket with every single thing inside the bracket. This is what we called expansion. Okay, and we get something looks like this. Today we are going to learn the opposite process, which is the factorization. This process we will be giving the brackets back. Okay, turning something looks like this to something that has a single bracket in there. Okay, this is what we'll be learning today. Just remember the factorization is the opposite process of expansion, and we are giving back the brackets. Okay. Let's look at an example together. All right. So, for example, if you're given this expression, how can you factorize it? How can we give the brackets back to it? Okay. So, first thing, I will go into draw a long division bar, an upside down long division bar. Okay. Something like this, from this to this. Right. This is a long division bar I call in algebra. Right? So what we are going to do, we are going to find common factors that can be divided by both of these two terms separated by this addition sign. Okay, so we are going to find numbers first. So you are going to look at just the numbers at the front. We have 6 and 4. What do they have in common? What common factors do they have? And from your prior knowledge, you must know that they can both be divided by 2. Okay? Because if you divide 6 by 2, you will get 3. You divide 4 by 2, you get 2. They can evenly be divided by 2. Okay, next step, you're just going to write the results down, okay, below this bar. All right, so after we've done 6 divided by 2, you will get 3. And then you copy everything else down. All right, you copy down the plus sign, you copy down the plus sign, and then you do 4 divided by 2, which will give you 2 here. And then you copy down the rest. All right, next step, we're just keep finding the common factor and keep dividing the common factors. All right. So we have dealt with the numbers. Next step, we are going to deal with the letters, right? Can you find what do they have in common? What are the letters they both have in common? Start alphabetically. Do they both have A in there? Yes, they do. Okay, so we write an A here to indicate we are going to divide a from both terms here, okay? So if you do 3a squared b divided by a, what do you get? You get 3ab, okay? And if you do 2ab squared divided by a, what do you get? You get 2b squared, right? You should know this well from yesterday's learning. And then you just need to put the answers down below the bar. So after you do 3a squared b divided by a, you get 3ab. After you do 2ab squared divided by a, you get 2b squared. All right? And then we just keep doing the process, right? Write another long division bar. That means division, okay? And you are trying to find anything else they have in common by looking at this one here. So what do they have in common? They both have B in there, okay? So that's why we put a B outside at the front, okay? If you divide this term by B, what do you get? 3ab divided by b, you get 3a. If you do 2b squared divided by b, what do you get? You get 2b, okay? So you just write down the answer. Let's do it again. 3ab divided by b, you get 3a. 2b squared divided by b, you get 2b. All right? And what else? Do they have anything else in common? Looking at this one? No, they don't have anything in common that can both be divided by at the same time. Okay? So we can stop here now. And how to write our final answer? We are just going to write whatever's left on the bottom into a bracket, and then we combine these things at the front through multiplication. So 2 times a times b, we get 2ab. So you just write down 2ab at the front. So this is the final answer. 2ab bracket 3a plus 2b. All right, this is the whole process of factorization. For some expressions, you might only need to take 2 steps. All right, that will be a shorter process, but same process, same method applies, right? Whatever is outside that you combined is what we called the highest common factor in algebra. Okay, so the highest common factor in this case is 2ab for this expression in question. Okay, all right, so what you need to do is just keep dividing both terms by their common factors until there are no more. Okay, so this is the full process. I hope you enjoy today's learning, and if you're happy with this, you can move on to some practice these questions. Okay, just pause your video now and write these down in your notebook and try to factorize them according to the method that we just learned. Okay, if you need anything, if you have any question or need any support, come and talk to me. All right, okay, once you got these done, we can move on to a worksheet. Okay, a worksheet for you to finish by yourself. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's learning. But any question, please feel free to let me know. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.